What's up guys, how you doing? My name is Jarko and welcome to this video. In this video I'm going to show you how I turned this picture into, well, something really unique, and I hope you like it. So without any further ado, let's get started. Okay, so first I found this guy that I wanted to use, and I just used pen tool to crop him all around, and here comes the epic speed art. Alright, so I added him right here. Then I'm just gonna skip the process of finding all these images, and I just basically added them into one picture. As you can see, I started blending one by one. Alright, so first I flipped everything because, I don't know, I didn't like the light coming from the left, so I wanted it to come from the right. Invert the light, just perfect, just like that. Added some asteroids right here. So I started blending this guy on a unicycle, and I added a shadow beneath him. Then I used brightness and contrast to actually turn down the brightness of the guy, and I started painting the dark parts because the light is coming from the right side, so basically all the left parts are dark. So I just copied the guy on a unicycle, flip him vertical, and just change the perspective of him. And because I wanted to make the shadow on Earth, use a color gradient to actually change the color to black, add a little bit of blur to make it seem like it's a shadow. Then I started by using exposure adjustment, I started making the Earth darker actually. Then I use hue and saturation to make like the highlights on the right side of the planet. Then I again use hue and saturation. This is like the most important adjustment I use, actually the most used adjustment. So I use hue and saturation adjustment to, just literally copied the mask of the previous exposure adjustment and pasted it into this hue and saturation, and I just darken it to make all the actually dark parts even more darker. Then I clicked back on the exposure layer I made and just started deleting the parts where the light shouldn't be actually, and highlighting the parts where it should actually be. So I made a solid color, turned it white, and of course I always use that because later you can change the color, and just wanted to that light reflection behind him, so I just put that gradient layer beneath him and just painted just right behind him. So I use again hue and saturation. I use that like most of my time to turn the moon black. Then I use the blur gallery, field blur, to make moon seem like he's really close and to make him blurry, of course. Then I went back to hue and saturation to make the lights on the edge of the moon. Then I started painting every single asteroid here to make like because the light is coming from the top right side, so the left side and I guess south side should be darker, and I just started painting the dark parts and highlighting the highlighted parts. Then I added a blur field, but I didn't want every single asteroid to be blurred the same, so I just put the number and use brush to delete, for example, those little asteroids in the far distance to be actually closer to Earth, and because Earth is not blurred because its main perspective, I'll make better depth of field if I unblur those small asteroids that are closer to Earth. Then I added a gradient because I wanted to have better light effect. Actually, I put here radial, but later I changed it. So here, put noise, put the second one, and turn these two sliders all the way to the left. You got this black and white thing, and I just changed the style to angle and randomize it a little bit to be a little bit brighter, and it's like literally we have a really cool light effect. Use the soft light to make it seem like it's actually coming, and then again use the blur to make it a little bit more blurry. Of course, you gotta make it first smart object, and that's it. Then I started painting these highlights on these asteroids right here, adding a little bit of a shadow going right behind this guy. Again, more asteroids and more highlights. Then in the end I use camera filter to blend it all in to make it more cooler. But actually this is not the end. I later decided to change the lights. So I didn't want the light to come from the top right. I wanted it to come from behind him. So I just forgot to record this. I just put here you can see I just put the sun behind him and just started blending all over again. So here I was adding highlights to the Earth. I just moved them to be on top of the Earth or not on the right side. Then of course the sun I added is blurred. I took this shadow I've made, and while I was on the shadow layer of him, I just control and click a layer of the Earth to have that round selection. And then when you go to filters and go to distort sphere, the shadow will distort like it's around the Earth to make a better effect. Then again, the process of... Then again, I'm just gonna skip through all of this. Then again, the epic process of putting on the highlights. I'm just gonna speed this up, right? I'm just gonna speed this up, get ready for epic speed edit. Then I actually just Control J that hue and saturation layer, and I just put on a little bit of this like highlights on him, but of course I reduce the opacity. Then again, making a hue and saturation layer right behind him to add that light reflection. So I use black and white to desaturate the sky and galaxy behind him, so it was a little bit too blue, but I used mask to just delete the sky where the sun is. Then in the end, use camera raw filter again to blend it all in, and that should be it. Alright guys, so this is before, this is after. Turned out really great. I'm really satisfied with the result. Hope you guys like it. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a thumbs up, and turn on post notifications, because I drop videos regularly, and if you enjoyed them, yeah, make sure to turn that on. Alright, see you guys in the next video. Peace!